Good morning, winners. Welcome to Terri's Tips. So listen, today we're going to talk about should you pay revolving or installment debt when you're trying to improve your credit score. And guys, the critical part of that question is when you're trying to improve your credit score. Because before I even jump into the topic, I want you to understand that there are debt strategies and there are credit strategies. There are debt strategies and there are credit strategies. So today I'm talking about should you pay off revolving or installment debt based on trying to improve your credit score. Okay? Got it good. Like that's something I need you to understand before we even talk about the topic. Okay? And so if you are new to my channel, welcome. Good morning to you. My name is Terri. I am an investor, a self-employed entrepreneur, a single mother of 3, and we upload videos every Tuesday and Thursday morning about personal and business credit, financial literacy. That's where my consulting firm helps people with personal and business credit, with investing. And the goal, guys, the goal is to break generational cycles of poverty, to learn to leverage your credit, to build wealth, and honestly, guys, to help you make better decisions. You can stop paying a bunch of money to a bunch of frauds that are getting you in more trouble than it's honestly worth, okay? So let's jump right into the topic. So revolving debt and installment debt. So before I even talk about the topic, and guys, I'll do my nugget at the end, you must understand the difference. Everything on your credit report is going to fall into revolving credit or installment credit, okay? And revolving credit is something like credit cards and like lines of credit, right? This is where once you actually use the money, it's like reusable to you. It's like you can use it over and over and over again. Almost think about it, guys, like a revolving door, okay? So if you have, a $1,000 credit card, then, 1 month the balance could be $500, 1 month the balance could be $900, 1 month the balance could be $200, and then your monthly payment, guys, is relative to the actual balance. So if you owe $900 on a $1,000 credit card, maybe your minimum payment is $100 a month. Let's say you owe $500 on a $1,000 credit card. Maybe your minimum payment is $50 a month. So with revolving credit, your balance and your monthly payment can literally change month to month based on how you use it, okay? That's revolving credit. Now, for installment credit, guys, that's things like think about personal loans, think about auto loans, think about mortgages, think about student loans. With installment debt, you have one set amount you borrow. Let's say you have a car and you borrow $18,000, and every month you pay $400 a month for your car note. Every single month is $400, $400, $400. That's installment. The monthly payment does not change. And then once you pay it off in full, like you cannot reuse that amount. Once you pay it off in full, it's a zero balance and it goes to closed. So revolving and installment, and literally everything on your report will fall into one of those two categories. So you need to know the difference. Now, the honest truth is that the FICO scoring model pays more attention to how you manage your revolving debt. And for lenders, guys, you're credit worthy when you can manage both revolving and installment debt. This is why you guys hear me say if you have all revolving and no installment, you're not going to have a super high score. If you have all installment and not revolving, you're not going to have a super high score. Honestly, that is a little area where when I talk to you guys are missing this. I see that like so often. I'm like, oh my God, you have all revolving. You just need to add, a SelfLender, installment account. And just like that, you guys get 30 points, 50 points, 80 something points. You guys are missing the fact that you need to know what type of debt is on your report, and having a mix is what lenders kind of see you as credit worthy, because you can manage both types of credit. So real quick, if you have all installment debt and no revolving, you have all loans, and I seen you guys, like I see y'all with them one main loans, and I see you guys with them payday loans, and I see you guys with them personal loans from your credit unions, I see y'all, and you have no credit card debt, then just adding a simple credit builder card, even if it's just like a $200 secured card, is going to kickstart your score. It's going to help you build. And mind you, the amount of the card is irrelevant. What goes into your score is that you now have open, available, revolving credit that is primary, that is yours. So I will put a link in this. Actually, you guys can go right to my link tree, but at the end of this video, I'm actually going to link my video on debt ratios and my link on credit builder accounts. because if you have all installment, you can add a revolving credit builder account to help build your score. If you have all revolving, you can add a SelfLender installment loan to build your score. And mind you, the goal is to kickstart your credit score, right? Get you to your goal so you can leverage without getting you in a bunch of debt. So I didn't tell you if you need installment loans to go get, furniture. I didn't tell you to go buy a car. I didn't tell you to go get a jeweler's card. Nonsense, y'all. Nonsense. I said a credit builder revolving account, credit builder installment account. I'll put a link to my video. Also, if you go to my link tree, I have links for credit builder installment, links for credit builder card. And literally, guys, there's soft inquiry. That's key. I just talked about that in my inquiries video. And they report to all 3 credit bureaus. That's critical. You guys are doing things for bureaus that report to 1 bureau or just 2. No, 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 no. When you want to be strategic, and my channel is super about strategy, then you always want to use financial products that report to all 3 bureaus, especially if you're one of my investors, and especially if you're trying to go for a mortgage, and especially if you're trying to transition into business credit. You always want to be building for all 3 bureaus. And then if you have all, installment credit, you can add the credit builder card. If you have all revolving credit, you can add the credit builder installment account. Okay, guys? But everything will fall into those 2 categories. So when I talk to you, sometimes you guys are like, I'm working on my credit, I'm paying everything off. And I'm like, that's great. But strategy is knowing what to pay off, how much to pay, and when, and then how to track it. So I have you guys that will have high credit card balances, high utilization, and you're doubling and tripling up on your car note. No, no, no. For installment credit, literally it's always going to say, back to that same example, you borrowed $18,000 and it's $400 a month is your payment. Whether you pay $400, whether you pay $600, whether you pay $800, it's always just going to say $400 on time, $400 on time, $400 on time. So if you are trying to raise your score, guys, and that's critical, trying to raise your score, and you have extra money, put it always on your revolving balances, period. Paying your credit cards down, getting them to 10% and under, sometimes depending on what else is on your report, paying them down to a 0 balance, being strategic about picking out the cards to pay. This is another one, guys. So for revolving credit, always remember, it's not necessarily the balance that goes into your score. It's the ratio. So $5,000 on a $5,000 credit limit card is 100% utilization. That's the same ratio, guys, as $500 on a $500 credit limit card. That's 100% utilization. So guys, strategy. If you have a $5,000 card that's at $5,000 and 100% utilization, and you have a $500 card that's at $500 and 100% utilization, guys, you can pay the $500 card down to 0. Now you have a 0 credit card and you have a 100% utilization card. Guys, the FICO scoring model actually averages it out for you. So then when your scores are recalculated, when everything is updated, you'll be at 50%. Yes. Now, obviously, you guys may have 3 and 4 and 5 cards, but what I'm saying is sometimes I talk to you guys are putting a little bit money here, a little bit money here, a little bit money here. No, when I do these credit jumpstart strategy sessions, I say, pay this card, just pay the minimum payment, don't charge it anymore. Pay all the money on this card. Pay this one down to 0. Pay this one down to 500. And literally by me being strategic with your credit cards, paying attention to the balances and the ratios, I've been able to help a ton of you get higher scores much faster with less money out of pocket. Yes. Now, obviously, if you have a ton of money and you want to get out of debt, then paying installment credit helps you because you're saving yourself on all that interest. But in this season, listen to me, in this season where you're trying to raise your score to qualify for business credit, to qualify for real estate investing, to qualify for business loans, to qualify for mortgages, always, always, always first put your money on your open available revolving credit. Period. Look, drop the mic. Like, seriously, that's what will raise your score the fastest. Okay, guys? So if you don't even know what is your revolving installment, if you're still confused, pull your credit report. annualcreditreport.com or credit check total. Every single account. This is why I always tell you guys, stop looking at just your score and actually look at your reports. Every single account will say revolving, account type revolving or installment, revolving and installment. I don't care if you have to go through and highlight them. Get familiar with your reports, because that's the only way that you'll get financially literate. That's the only way you'll be able to grow and maintain it and grow it. And that's the only way that you're going to really, really have success, is if you understand what you're doing and why. Amen. So now when you think about revolving and installment credit, you should know the differences. You should know what to pay and know why lenders think that you're more credit worthy when you have a mix, when you're able to manage both types. I hope that freed some people, because some of you guys are like in credit repair for so long because you're paying the wrong things. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. All right. And so my nugget for today, one thing one of my mentors always tells me is that great leaders are great students. I'm going to pause for a minute. Great leaders are great students. Guys, sometimes you have to know when you're the expert and when to talk. And sometimes you need to learn when you're a humble student and you need to learn from somebody who's doing better than you. Sometimes you need to learn when to be quiet and listen and sink it in, because maybe somebody's trying to pour into you, teach you, train you, coach you, mentor you, who has better results. And if you're at a certain level, if we're going to talk real, this is going to hurt somebody today, but some of you guys need to hear this, because you have no idea how many times you guys schedule like credit strategy sessions with me. And the first it's 1 hour, guys. You have 1 hour with a credit expert, okay? And you guys spend 35 minutes, 45 sometimes, telling me what's wrong with your credit, what you're going to do with it, and how you know everything about credit. And you know what? I used to like say, wait, we should do this, we should do that. I'll let y'all talk. You paid to speak to me for an hour, and you tell me what's wrong with your credit, why you got into it. And sometimes I look at your file and I'm like, this is not, like, they're all wrong. But you guys have to understand that sometimes there's a lot of conflicting information out about credit. There's a lot of inaccurate information out about credit. So if you're reaching out to somebody for help, that means that obviously you don't have the result that you really, really want. So take the time to listen, because you may know a lot. Some people know a lot, some people know a little, but you may not be an expert. Sometimes it's the small details that make all of the difference in the world. And even myself, I don't know everything. Like credit, hands down, like put me up against anybody. I'll do lives, I do interviews, I don't script my stuff. Hands down, credit, I know. But I'm not like, for example, Jamal King is one of my mentors. Okay, well, even though I own multiple properties, even though I'm an investor, he owns hundreds of properties, right? He owns multiple businesses, multiple daycares, multiple security companies. He's somebody at a different level. So even though, yes, I went to real estate school, yes, I'm an investor, yes, I was the vice chair of zoning, I still don't have his results. So even though I'm an expert at my craft, when I get around people who are doing better than me, people that have better results, I'm a humble student. Even if they talk for an hour and it's one thing that I get out of that, I've gained knowledge. Guys, learn that's the problem with so many adults. You're not coachable and trainable. I'm going to say it. Who is your mentor, and are you really being coachable and trainable? When somebody is giving you advice, taking the time to coach you, taking the time to train you, taking the time to pour into you, are you listening, or are you having rebuttals? Are you going back to what you always know, or are you open to a new way? Great leaders are always learning. I'm always doing podcasts, always doing webinars, always doing, doing Zoom workshops, because that's what my mentors do. So if I want their results, then I know that even if I think I'm the top level, guys, there's always a level above you. Never be so big that you can't learn. Always be learning. Great leaders are great students. Hope that freed somebody today, okay? Amen. And so if this video was helpful for you, like, share, comment, hit that notification button. Let somebody know about my channel. I would appreciate it. And it lets me know that the videos are valuable for you guys. I'm super engaged with my audience. So comment, and I hope you have an amazing day on purpose.